Hey guys, Dr. Josh McClain here at Body Rejuvenation, located right next to the best wrestling academy in the world, Pinnacle Wrestling School. Hope you guys have been having a great season. It's getting down to sections and state, and I want to talk about how you set the mindset so that your athlete starts believing that they are the best out there, and how we can actually build that mental toughness aspect leading up the last couple weeks. And I want to talk real quickly about the physical training that they should be doing from a weight room standpoint, explosiveness, conditioning, etc., leading up to the state tournament. So the first aspect I want to touch on is the strength training component, because I got a lot of questions coming in right now about, hey, should we be doing heavy lifts? Should we be doing this? Should we be working on endurance? Like, what should we be doing? So to answer it in a quick summary, right now what we're doing here in Body Rejuvenation with all of our athletes is we are working a lot on building up our muscular endurance and a lot of explosiveness. So we've made a transition. We still do a couple heavy sets just because I still have to be able to lift that guy that's my same weight up off the mat to finish my shots and finish a lot of those positions. So we still do 1 or 2, 3 heavy exercises that really load our body in a full body position. A lot of Bulgarian splits, a lot of lunges, a lot of that stuff. And then we go into more muscular endurance. So we start bumping up our reps from 6 to 8 up to 12 to 20, somewhere in that range. And then we start getting tired in between, and then at the end we'll add in the explosiveness stuff. There's a lot of people that throw different principles around about when to do explosiveness, and for us as wrestlers, it's when we're tired. That's when we need to be able to explode. I'm never going to have a time when I walk out on the mat where I'm not sweating, when I'm not hot, when I'm not breathing for my life, and I need to be able to explode, right? So I want you guys to be tired, go through the muscular endurance stuff, and then learn how to explode. So if you guys have questions on that stuff, let me know. But build up muscular endurance, work on explosion stuff for the next week, week leading up to sections. As sections start, go the next week into it, into individual sections. And then about 2 weeks before the state tournament, we're going to work on just explosiveness stuff. So understand that concept of kind of where that's going. The other aspect that's critical to start focusing on right now is the mindset side of it. And a lot of times what I see is that people keep ramping up their physical demand, right? We just keep training harder, we start doing longer goes, we start getting a little bit more aggressive in the weight room. And then when we start cutting that down around sections and going into state, kind of as our, like if you're a swimmer, a taper, right? Like we taper down a little bit, but then they don't do anything. And without adding a ton more physical exertion on, I can do a lot of mental development stuff where I can start learning and believing that I'm the best and I can achieve more and I can do more. How we do that in here, a lot of you have probably heard about the heck holds that we do, where the feet are up on the wall, you're in a push-up position, right? And we start there and I say it's a minute, and everyone else, and they start falling 45, 50, etc. I didn't do anything else besides take the next 2 minutes to talk to them about mindset stuff and just say, hey, like, what is it that made you fall? Why did you go down? And right when one kid goes down, guess what happens to the kid next to him? He goes down, the next kid goes down. Everyone sees everyone falling, so they're like, why should I be up on the wall, right? So I challenge them now as a whole group to get to that minute. And if they do, we're done. And all of a sudden, they get the minute the next one, right? Physically, if it makes sense from a physiological standpoint, they would have been more tired, right? If they were physically exhausted all the way through, they wouldn't be able to hold it for the second minute. But because they were, we stopped then and say, okay, why were you guys able to hold that for the minute on the second go after you should have been more tired? Their number one instinct? Mindset, right? They understand the concept, they understand the principle. So as we start doing this, we can do this in a couple different varieties. One is that heck hold position. It's a great position. It allows you to breathe, work on your focus, just zoning in on the physical, mental pain, and not pain, but discomfort that you're going through at the moment, and it forces you to push your mindset. So here's how I'd start if I was going to do it at home or after practice. If I was a leader in the wrestling room and I wanted to do this without my coach implementing it, or if you are a coach, here's how we do it. So go for as long as you can, right? Just do that day one, go as long as you can. Do the second set and see if you can get longer than it. Do a third set and see if you can get longer than both of them. And just record those numbers, right? Just 60 seconds, 65 seconds, 82 seconds, whatever that may be. The next day after practice, just try to beat that, right? Do 3 more sets of it, 3 more goes. Take a minute off in between each one so that you kind of standardize it, and then just go into the next one and hold it as long as you can. What you'll see is that physically, overnight, they didn't improve much, right? Like, I cannot build muscle that fast. I cannot build muscular endurance that fast. But what I just did is I changed my thought process, saying I can do this, I can go more, I can go 5 seconds longer, I can make it 10 more seconds, and they fight and they find a way. So now, without physically fatiguing my body, I've started to condition the brain. So I can do it both in a heck hold position. I can do it up on the pull-up bar, just doing hangs. I can also we do a lot of lunge positions here where I'm down in a lunge 1 inch off the ground, right? And I'm here having to fight, whether I got a light dumbbell in my hands, but my legs are shaking and I'm quivering, but I have to maintain a good position, and I learn to fight through it. And then right when I'm done with one side, I got to switch into the other, right? Just record the times, show them progress. There's a thing with older adults and with younger generations that need immediate feedback, right? So if I got numbers, those are very statistical. That's why kids thrive at math a lot of times, because we're very algorithmic, right? Like, I like numbers. I like to see my progress. I like to know that A equals B plus C, right? Like, I like to know the equation. I like to come up with the solid answers. And if I got 62 here and I got 68, I know I'm better, right? Like, that's easy. That's an easy algorithm. I don't have to think like, oh, did I improve today? Did I do this? Like, it's just set in stone numbers. So there's a couple things for you. Hope you guys enjoy them. If you have questions on them, let me know. Good luck leading up to section, state. I'll have a couple more videos coming up here just with some recovery stuff, but enjoy it. Reach out. Later.